Hello, everyone. It's me. It's Yvonne Purvis. We are going to be spending 5 days together in this amazing live masterclass. You will have the recording, so make sure you say hello if you're watching from the recording. If you're here with me live, drop a hello in the comments. And let's get to this. Are you excited for your next level? Do you know what your next level is? Have you thought about it? Have you dreamt about it? Do you know the money you want to be bringing in? Do you know the clients you want to be serving? Where do they live? What is it that you desire? Maybe it's your relationship. Maybe you want a man, you're ready for that next level man. You've been through the divorce. You're a super healed woman and you're ready for a healed man. And if you're still thinking it's body image, okay, I coached on this for over 20 years. And it is just this thing that is not allowing you to release the weight with ease and effortless. And life is meant to be effortless, ladies, in all areas. We are born as a human, as a little baby. We are born to be rich, happy, everything being beautiful. And the only reason it doesn't is because we get into a human life of looking at our circumstances and believing that they are creating our reality. And you're going to learn really how this power of manifestation helps you in the effortless way, growing your business faster and easier, having more fun in life, taking care of you as well, working less and making more, having money come in on abundance levels of large sums of money starting to unfold for you. So what would you love to have from this 5 days? Set yourself an intention. Don't just come in thinking, what am I going to do? I want you to really take action, and also to have an amazing something happen over these 5 days. That's how fast we can change our energetics and create abundance fast, create a client jumping in fast, being open to receive. Right? This is what it is. It's about being open to receive. And when you are wanting more clients and you want more money and you want a better relationship, you're wanting to travel, you want to be luxury traveling, that means that you don't have it. You're in lack, right? We can't be in lack. We have to be in abundant and know it's here and we have it. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you. Okay. Because I'll know where you are in your level of consciousness. So pop in the comment if this is making sense to you, okay? And if it's not, it's okay, right? Just know that you're here. You're meant to learn. Remember, life is all about growth. Growth is the abundance of our life, and it's growing. When we go down a path that has been challenging, it's meant to grow. So when we want to, I don't like that word, sorry, when you're calling in, right? When you desire to have more in life, you may desire, but maybe consciously and in you, who you are, you're not ready yet to receive it. This is also where things can be a little more challenging for you to be able to grow through it. Because there's no real, think about, okay, where you are right now, are you happy and comfortable? So when we are happy and comfortable, that means that you already have it, right? You just want to have more of it. And you can have more of it. It is open to everyone. You just have to understand that what you desire is waiting for you to be it, to grow into it. Okay? So how fun is this, right? So today, okay, we're going to focus on one area, and this is really the clarity. Okay. So what would you love to call in? What is it that you feel what is your next level in your life, right? So to step into your next level is the woman who attracts fill in the blank, right? And just a bit of housekeeping for everybody here, which I forgot. Okay, so this, I've called it a challenge, but I really like masterclass better because I just don't like the wording of challenge, to be honest. Okay, so it's a 5-day masterclass. And in these trainings, you're going to learn so much. You're going to be able to take notes and take action. I'm an action taker, and I know you're an action taker. Okay. So pop in. This is the comments you need to understand. Are you an action taker? Actions take work. Actions are not thinking, are not delaying it, procrastinating it. It's taking action now. And just so you know, these trainings will only be available for 10 days and then they're gone. I'm going to turn it into something, right? This is it. I turn these things into courses for myself, for other women to purchase, because the free stuff is for you to learn and grow. And then I know I can help other women with this stuff, right? So you are getting it for 10 days plus 10 with 5 with me. So that's 15 days we're together. Okay. So watch and take action. Engage in the group, share your insights, support each other. This is how we get the most out of everything in life, is opening up and sharing. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, because a lot of you are new, and congratulations to all the new ladies that have joined our beautiful, abundant prosperity group, the Millionaire Identity. And why did I call it the Millionaire Identity? Well, let's just look at millions. Does $1 million think you feel, if you had $1 million, what would you do? What would you do differently? How would you be differently? What would you feel? Right? Would you then go and invest in coaching, right, for your business, rather than not doing it because you're worried about the money? Would you buy the clothes that you love? Like if you saw something, you would just go out and buy it and not even think about it. We change when we have an abundance of money. We act differently. We feel different. We wake up differently. So the millionaire identity is the identity knowing that you have what you would absolutely love already. It might not be $1 million for some of you. That might feel uneasy. Remember, money is a funny word. It's a funny feeling for some. Some don't want to talk about it. It might be something from your mom or your dad. Somebody said money's hard to earn. It doesn't grow. Money doesn't grow on trees. And there's a lot of old stories that you have and that you believe around money and also working. And this is where, when we are in a lack, for instance, you want your business to grow, but yet you feel it's really hard. You've got to work longer hours. It's taking a long time. And these beliefs are why your business is hard, why it's not growing, why it's not becoming easy and flowing, and why you're not absolutely in love with what you're doing. Okay. So the topic today is the difference between those that stay stuck and those who scale, right? Scaling comes from the identity shift, right? How millionaires think, how they act, how they operate, releasing these limiting beliefs around money, time, success. And they are action. This is an action step for you today to become more abundant and to be able to call in more of what you desire. So write down the vision of who you are, who already has more. Describe yourself. What would be different? How do you show up? All right. So let's talk even just before we get in that, because if you want to call in more, maybe you need to go deeper, right? So today, if you had $1 million, what would that do for you? How would you feel? If you had, now maybe, like I said, so if $1 million is just too far out that you can't even really feel it or see it or do it, then I want you to say, okay, if you had $10,000, if you made $10,000 this month, would that be helpful for you? Would that change your life? Would that give you some security? Would you feel safe? Would your bank account be overflowing? That is the feeling we want to feel. This is where I want you to start, but everybody starts at a different level, right? It doesn't matter what level you're at. It's still an identity shifting of who you believe you are and letting go of who you thought you were. Those limiting beliefs will keep you where you are unconsciously. So consciously, we have to know what we feel. And if you're there, say hello. I know it's Sunday for some of you. And oh, hello, Amanda. Lovely to see you. Who else is there? Say hello. And if you're there, say hello. I know it's Sunday. So I went to London for 6 days from Australia for a 1.5-day event. Why did I do that? I'm calling in multi-millions, and I wanted to be around multi-million-dollar women and other women like myself that are calling in more. Some want 1 million, some want 5 million. There was a whole bunch of different, but it doesn't matter on the number because it's the same actions and it's the same belief. So I went there for 2 days with the intention that this would 10x my business. And it did. Must say, the jet lag didn't make me feel it some days, but I knew deep down it was okay, right? So the actions that I took are bold. I don't sit back. I don't wait for the right time. I don't think that, oh, should I be paying this? Should I invest in this? I chose to, yes, embrace this now, and I took the actions towards it. The universe rewards you when you take action. When God, the universe, source energy, right? You know, in the scope of life, right? There is something God, right? A lot of people are more God related because it's also religious. For me, God is not religious. God is the universe, is source. It is a big something that is out there that I work in partnership with, right? He's partnering with me. He's helping me in my business, giving me the intuition, helping me say, what am I speaking? Getting me out of my old business. It wasn't serving me. I didn't want it. He knew he was driving me to do this work purposely and purposeful because of the lessons and and everything I've been to and through to help other women do the same. I mean, anybody that is coaching in a space or a mentor has to have been through what they coach on. Otherwise, they can't feel it, right? I've had trauma in my life. I know what that feels like. Somebody lowering me, right? Clipped my wings, made me small. I struggled in my business. I didn't feel good about myself. I was unworthy. I felt depressed. I didn't show up. I hid. I didn't want to be seen. I canceled all the time. I didn't want to go out. I'm a social human being. I was a social butterfly who laughed loud, enjoyed life, traveled around the world, loved myself unconditionally. And then all of a sudden, 10 years in our marriage, was drowning in sadness, was drowning in a trapped life that I didn't know how to leave. I didn't think I could leave. I thought it was me that was the problem. When someone is telling you these things, you start to believe them. I didn't have a family and friends that really knew me to say, what the hell are you doing? I didn't share anything because I wasn't allowed to. When you go through this kind of stuff and you come out on the other side, you can either look back and feel like a victim or be really super proud of yourself for getting through it. I didn't have an escape to go and anyone to help me. I've heard a lot of people in the last 2 months. I've met a lot of different people. I was going to go on this huge speaking event and she loved my story. And I've had a few other people. And the difference with all of those stories, though, from mine, was I didn't have a mom or dad to go and stay with. A lot of these people were homeless, so they got to move back with their parents. I lived in Australia. I didn't have anyone that could help me. It was all up to me. There was no back door. There was no one saving me. No one. I had to find myself. I had to do that work and get really strong with myself again. And yes, I did get, in that, it took me 5 years to be where I am today, to feel that confidence and higher self. But that's because I invested in someone to help me get there as well. So going back to why you're here today, I want you to think about some of the stuff, but not dwell on it. We don't want to think too much about the past. We want to be in our present moment and thinking about what we want to create in the present moment. And I think about a year. So the end of 2025, what would you like to see? Who would you like to be? How do you want to feel? How do you want to dress? Like in my marriage, you know, I love looking nice. I was like this. And I had him and his children saying, why does Yvonne always have to look good? Why does she have to blow dry her hair? Why does she have to put makeup on? And, you know, the house always looked beautiful. I cared, right? I was a Virgo, so I wasn't crazy, but I liked my place being nice for energy flow. And all of those things that I was so good at got taken away to be someone else. They wanted me to be like their ex, you know, I won't go there. We won't even go there, right? He was not a healed man when I got into a relationship with him. The universe didn't want me to marry him, gave me all the signs, and I ignored them. I had to go through something to grow from it, to get out on the other side, to remember who is Yvonne Purvis. And this is why you're here. It's not just about finding a strategy to grow your business. It's finding out who you are. What is your limiting belief in yourself? Because I can tell you right now, if you didn't have a limitation and anything going on in your life, you wouldn't be here looking for more money or more clients. It's a fact. There are beliefs still in you. You're not sure where you are. You're not bringing in the money you want. You're still working hard. You're still in a grind. You're still like friggin', oh my gosh, that grind and that hustle, such burnout. I felt it, but I wasn't burnt out. I felt it from the jet lag. It is horrible. And it brought me back to that feeling. And when you get like that, it's a very low vibration, isn't it? You don't feel good enough. You feel bad. Your brain goes on auto replay of all the things about you. Oh, you've eaten the wrong thing. I'm fat. I shouldn't have eaten that. And then you eat something else. And it's it's like a friggin' treadmill, and it's coming in fast. And when you get in it, it's almost so hard you can't even shut it off. Right? So the awareness of where you are right now is so important, because you can't call in more if you don't do this. If you don't know where you are right now, where is your ground zero? Like if you would ask me this 5 years ago, let me tell you, my ground zero was always calling in $1 million, because I was trying to be that person in my business when I was married, but I couldn't, because I couldn't be me, right? It wasn't my true self. So what are you hiding behind? Are you really showing up as you? Are you trying to be someone else? Putting filters on your Zooms, on your lives all the time, you know, rather than showing up as just you. Talking about your story. Talking about the stuff that you've been through. People want to be relatable. They want you to be relatable. So what are you not being relatable for? When you go out to lunch or dinner with people, sometimes you feel uncomfortable about who you're with? So here's another little story. So when I think back of who I was, right, as the separated woman, always hated those terminologies too, and divorced. It's like, I'm just a single woman. I'm never putting that to my name. It's just, why? It's not a belief. I'm a single woman. So what we call ourselves and say about ourselves is because of your belief. So when I was 5 years ago in 2020, right, when I separated, whew, let me tell you, I was not a confident woman. I dropped like almost 7 kilos, which is a lot of pounds, almost double. Maybe not that much, but I dropped a lot of weight. And that weight, yes, was stress, anxiety, fight and flight for sure. I couldn't eat, but it was also releasing of all the stuff I had carried in that marriage for 20 years. Our body holds on So I thought I was a fully healed woman, right? Going to London. And then we started to talk about some limitations. And I had a couple of things that came up that I shared that were still there that I was trying to resist, thinking, I'm good. There's just something I think about. And it's not true. It was a limitation for me. And let me tell you, I had a massive purge. My body was like, thank you. And it literally came out. I was sick in our mastermind. It happened so fast. I talked about it. I released it. I said, you know what? This is not who I am. I said, this is just a habit of keeping this up. Because remember, we are habituary, right? It's like the story just coming up. So I thought it was still who I was, but yet it wasn't. It was just a story. And so what happened, the universe, God was like, thank you. And I had to go to the bathroom. I knew I was going to be sick. And I didn't just sick. And, isn't it funny? I want to turn this into something funny, because when you're sick in a public toilet, we never think about the toilet and what's under it. Like, I'm a very clean person. I never sit on the toilets. And here I am reaching over the toilet, and it was super clean. I was in a nice place. Thank God. And it didn't just come out there. It also came out on the other end. Like, it was, I thought I had food poisoning. I was lying on the bathroom floor because I needed to feel the coldness on my body. So I had my top pulled up, lying on the cold floor in the bathroom. No one walked in. Thank you. And I was thinking, is this food poisoning or is this a purge of the shit that was still in my body? So our bodies are there. So is it hanging? Are you having this is what the emotional stuff that you need to know. Is it still there and hanging on to it? So from there, I came back into the room, right? And they said I was green, and I felt green, like literally. I was like, oh. And my mentor is like, oh, she's had a purge. And I said, I knew you were going to say that. And I couldn't even sit up. I had to lie on the floor. It was a carpet floor. And because I just didn't feel well. Every time I went to sit up, I was like, oh no. So here I am in this mastermind. And I remember some bits of the last 3 hours that I missed and some bits I don't. And I didn't care, because what we hear is what we need to hear. Always know that, right? So if you're watching this, or if you've come new into my Facebook group, you have called that in. My VA might have messaged you to come into the group. Doesn't matter. You wouldn't be here if you weren't needing it, right? There is no coincidences in life. Everything is meant for you to go to the next step. But what happens, you don't listen to it. Now, there's so many other great things, but we're going to stay focused on today. Okay. And I love sharing this so that you understand I'm a human being like you. I'm growing. I'm elevating. We need to grow. When we're growing and elevating, it is so fun, but it is also a time of growth. And that growth can feel so unsettling. It can feel scary. It can literally feel like you're walking on a plank, not sure what to do. And you're going always in the right direction, even when it's scary. So think about water, right? A river. A river sometimes is calm, but then other times a storm happens and it's going downhill. And the river can flow straight, but then there might be a log in the way, and the log has to divert the water, right? It separates it to go right or left, to go around. And I want you to think of your life like that. You are on a road in your life, creating your best self or your not best self. So what do you want to create? What are you wanting to desire in your life? Do you want peace, happiness, joy, fun, love, a thriving business, $100,000 a month? That's your million. It's not a lot of money. Now, when you're in a lower vibration and you haven't made that, you can feel that's a lot of money. It can make you feel funny. So if it's making you feel funny, just be aware of it. Okay. So what do you want to get from today? What is it that you'd love to desire and have happen in the next 5 days in this masterclass? I had a client. So this client, okay, she had a rocking business. Her business was going great. Her personal life was not. And her weight was struggling. She'd lost, I think it was like 80 pounds in a year, put it all back on and then some when she came to me. And what do you think we focused on? Yes, we went through her nutrition, put a program together, but I knew it was never about that, right? When somebody loses that kind of weight and puts it back on, I know exactly it's not about weight. She was so unhappy in her life. She was unhappy with her husband. She didn't feel she had a good relationship with her kids. She didn't feel she had time for herself. It was all her. And this is where I'm saying it's not just your business that might not be thriving. It might be coming from your whole you. Do you love what you do? Like, I love what I do. Free and not free stuff. I love it. I thrive for it. I want to make a difference in this world. So when I share stories of clients of mine, it's to let you know that they've all been in different positions and they came out thriving. And it comes out sometimes in a different way in their life. In business directly, because you're here for business, it's probably not your business necessarily. It's you. It's you. It's the thoughts you're thinking. It's who you are. It's how you look at your life. And it's a vibration. And we'll get into that later. Is this making sense? Because when it starts sitting and making sense, your life will change. Right? So who here is wanting to scale without hustle? Who wants to scale without hustle? And if you don't know what scaling means, it means you basically want to have more money, right? Want to bring in more clients. And I want you to realize that sometimes too, you know, money is an interesting topic because you just got to be open to abundance, right? And then the doors are going to flood. So when you're open to abundance, it will come in. But when we are scaling and it's not showing up, you're not seeing it come in right away, it's you. Just in the last 5 years, I have brought in just under $2 million. And it came in different ways, not ways I expected it to come in. I was open to abundance. I was open to prosperity. So the universe knew what I was desiring, but I wasn't saying it's going to come from my funnel. So scaling our business is still a reflection of you. Okay. So isn't this fun, right? How is this making you feel? Are you going now, ooh, maybe that's why I haven't been able to bring in clients. Oh, it is so fun. And this is what I want you to know. Life is fun, good and bad. There is no such thing, right? It just means that you have to work on something else. It's about growing. Because we do not need to work harder to make more money. We need to work smarter, right? We don't want to be burning ourselves out or chasing. chasing success, chasing, like, yes, we have to do certain things and be in our masculine energy to find more clients, right? And to talk to people. We want to be talking to people. But when you are in the energetics and you are in your full oneness and wholeness of who you are, the clients will come to you. They do. And they come from different areas that you may not know. So I want you to stay open. What is your next level? Doesn't mean we're not talking about business. Business is part of all this, right? Yes. So what next level in business do you want to start today? So pop it in the comments below, okay? Because I need to know what you would desire. All right. So if you're stuck in your business, you can't scale. Got to know, where are you stuck? What is it that you are looking at and thinking about that's keeping you up? So what is it that's keeping you stuck in your business? Are you thinking you need to do more? Like, I want you to really get clear on those actions that you're taking. How many hours are you working? Now, I want to explain this, okay? So when we are working, we want to be in flow. We want to feel that energy of, this is exciting. You can work 8 hours and being excited. I did it yesterday. I was putting together, a whole bunch of new programs. And, that's a Sunday for me. I came home and I was super excited. And I had to also catch up, but I didn't know I was going to do it yesterday. And I was just in flow, right? I just started creating all new ways that for people can work with me at different areas in their business, in their life. And it was so fun. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I must have worked for about 4 hours yesterday. It was great. There are days that I work 8 hours, but I do take breaks in there. But when you're in flow, it just goes, right? So when you are working, how does it feel? What is your feeling? How do you feel at the end of the day? How does it, are you still in joy? Or do you feel like, oh, I got to do one more task? I want you to be clear with yourself and how you are looking at your business. How do you act and operate? Acting and operating are so important. I had a coach 5 years ago to help me with my email list. Because as you know, email list is important in business. It definitely is. Don't ever think anyone says it's not. That's not true. Email list is super important to have. You want people in your email list because everybody's at a different time and space to when they want to buy, and you want to be in their space, right? So anyway, I started with this coach, and it was total burnout. It was in such masculine energy. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I got through it, to be honest, but I was probably still used to being in that fight and flight, and I didn't know any better, but I would be so exhausted by the weekend. I'd be laying on the lounge. Oh, so exhausted. There was so much to do. I mean, I learned a lot, but wow, and I didn't even finish my coaching with her. And I've done that with a couple of coaches. Sometimes I've had enough. If it's not aligning with me, I just say, okay, that's it. That's enough for me. She was trying to have me come back in. I remember, because I live in Australia too, right? We live in Australia. Our Christmas break, we actually have a time off, like over 2 weeks mostly, right? And she was working still just a couple days after Christmas. And I was on these calls, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Yvonne, you need a break. And I had to listen to my intuition. My intuition was like, no more, ease and flow. And that was when I changed. It was the last time I ever went and pushed those kind of hours with someone, because you're no good to anyone, especially not yourself, not to your husband, not to your kids, when you're in that hustle and grind. And a lot of women get there, that hustle and grind. that we need the actions we do to do things. But I want to get you to come back into a more effortless way. Okay. So why don't we think about that? This is your first thing. I want you to think about how many hours are you working? How do you feel when you're working? And what do you love about what you do? Those will be the tasks for you tonight, to think about your business, to think about where you are. I want you to get really super clear. How many hours are you working? And you can pop them in the chat, or tomorrow, if you're here, if you come back on tomorrow, you can ask questions and we can go through it. Okay. So the more you participate, I'm going to help you through all of this. All right. To help get clearer on becoming more effortless and being more open to receiving what you would love. So how many hours are you working? How does it feel in your day? What would you love? How many hours would you love to work? You can do whatever you want. How does that feel for you? Imagine if you were working 4 hours a day instead of 8. Now, some of you may have a business, a job, and doing your little job, like starting your own business on your own. So that's also okay. So, but when you go into your business, how do you feel about it? And then how are you feeling with your job? I want you to be really open and transparent with yourself. Are you still grateful you have the job? Or are you wishing you didn't have the job? Okay. So be really mindful. The energy is everything in all of that areas. All right. So write down how you're feeling in your life, in your business. And we're gonna help you. By the end of the 5 days, you're gonna have more clarity. You're gonna have more sense of love. Okay. In this ease in life, flow. All right, guys, this has been a fantastic training today. So hope you've enjoyed it. Hope this is helping you with getting clear and clarity where you are. All right. Clarity is everything. Clarity, super important. And now we're doing our tasks. So what is it you're doing in your task? How many hours are you working? How do you feel when you're working? Are you in hustle and grind? How much money would you like to make this month? $5,000, doesn't matter what it is. Write it down. $1,000, $5,000, 10, 20, 100. All right. See you guys tomorrow. It's been so fun. Pop all questions in the group down below. The more you participate, the more that this is going to shift you. Okay. And we want to shift, right? We want to shift our energy because you're worth it. Aren't you worth having a life that you love? Having a business that you love? Having time, having freedom. You know, freedom to me means something maybe different to you. Freedom is choices that we have. So I bet you already have the freedom. You just don't know it. All right, guys. I know there's so much. I love this stuff. I just love coaching on it. I just love the expansion. Okay. This is about expanding yourself. You're expanding your thoughts, your vibration, and it's going to be magical. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. I will have all my tech happening better. And pop in the chat any questions, anything you're needing some help with, so we can get some movement in your life. Okay. In that stuckness. Because remember, today was about being stuck. Where are you stuck? Right? Where are we moving and shifting energy? All right. See ya. Love you guys.